What's going on, everybody? This is MattDoesFitness, and I was in a butcher's this morning and I bet the guy £50 he couldn't get the meat on the top shelf. He said, nope, the stakes are too high. Okay, this is my bench press highlights from the first week back in the gym after my competition. And it was pretty promising, to be fair. Now, if you are new to my channel, you may not know I've been having all kinds of shoulder problems over the last probably 2 months, I guess. My shoulders have been crap. They kind of take it in turns to be sore. So one of them will be sore. I get kind of nerve issues where like I can't, I don't know, like press properly without getting pain down my arm. Other times it comes from the low bar squat position where obviously my shoulders are under pressure trying to keep the bar in the right place. But generally speaking, the issue it causes is that I cannot lower the bar in a controlled fashion. I get to about halfway and then I end up pretty much dropping it on myself, which, as you can probably imagine, is not ideal. It's also not ideal for my pet goldfish, which I keep in my breast pocket. Anyway, that is by the by. The good news is that at the competition my shoulder felt really good. Both shoulders felt strong. I had no pain there. And then the other good news is that this week the same thing has been the case. My shoulders have felt really, really good. And generally speaking, when my shoulders feel good, my bench is good. And that was pretty much how it was. So here I started the week with 130 kilos, 287 pounds. And I thought I would do some sets of in the region of 5. And I ended up getting 6 for the first set and then 4 and 4, which is pretty decent. That's pretty much the best I've ever done, or like equal to that. Now, the difference is, you might see here, I'm doing touch and go. I always, or have done for the last probably 3 months, done all of my reps as pause reps. It may only be like half a second or so, but just to make sure I've kind of got that in my system. But I feel like now, to take the next step, to push up towards like a 400 pound bench, that region, I need to maybe kind of mix things up a bit. So I'm going to integrate more touch and go work. It may only be like 1 session a week, just a few sets, but I want to try and do some work where I'm not pausing, because I feel like that's going to kind of hopefully unlock some bench press gains. We shall see. I then just finished my bench session there with, I put 100 kilos, 220 pounds on the bar, and just went for maximal reps. And I think I got, I don't know, somewhere in the region of 13, which is pretty crap. I've done, I think, almost 20 before, but I was quite tired by that point. I'd done some decent reps with a heavyweight earlier, so it's not too bad. Accessory work wise, for the first session, I did some heavy dumbbell chest press. I did 3 sets of, I think, 12 down to about 8 or so with these bad boys, which are the 45 kilo dumbbells, which I believe is about 100 pounds. They're not hugely heavy, but they're the biggest ones I have in my gym, so there's not really much I can do about that. I've said it before, I'm still working on a plan. I've got a couple of old people that I'm friends with, and I'm still trying to put kind of a setup together whereby they essentially just sit on the dumbbells while I press them. The biggest issue I have right now is that I've got 2 old friends, both in the 80s. One of them is like 150 pounds. The other one's 400 pounds. Obviously, it's not going to be equal there. So I am trying to get the big guy just to lose a bit of weight, but we'll see how that goes. I then finished that session with some dumbbell chest flies. 3 sets of, I think, 12-ish of these. The dumbbells are light for these. I like doing them. I can do them a lot heavier, but I feel like I get much more chest engagement when I do them lighter. I also feel like when I go heavy, they almost turn into a press, and I want to keep them separate. I want to make it into a fly movement, just to make sure I hit kind of everything in that session. So that is what I did. You can see that the gym was actually pretty busy on this occasion. It's very, very random. Sometimes I'll get in the gym and it's empty. Other times I'll get in there and I've counted, I think, 13 people in there before, which, bearing in mind my gym is probably about, I don't know, not even 10 meters square. That's a lot of people. Right, that was the first session. Here is the second session. This one was even better. I went for 320 pounds, 145 kilos, and I did it for some doubles, which I've never done before. I've never done this weight for more than a single, so I was very happy. Now, what you might see there is the guy spotting me did the thing that I find very, very annoying, and the reason why I don't like using spotters, and that's because he touched the bar. I told him implicitly, I said, please don't touch the bar until I'm finished. But to be fair, obviously it's one thing saying it. When someone's spotting you, obviously he knows if I drop it on my face and I die, it's his fault. So it's fair enough, but it is quite frustrating. Anyway, those first 2 sets there, he gave me a little bit of assistance with the second rep, but both of them I had 2 doubles there easily. Here is the third one. I literally wrote the instructions down on his face to make sure he didn't forget. I said, please don't touch the bar. And he didn't touch the bar. And you'll see here, I get both. And bearing in mind, this is my 3rd set, I think that's pretty good going. But yeah, 3 doubles at 320 pounds. I'm happy with that. Like I said, I've never done that weight before for more than one. So that obviously shows it's a step in the right direction. I did that again with a pause. So the first session was touch and go. This session was a pause. And I think that's how I'm going to do things from now on. I then did, I've never done this before, which you can probably see from my kind of awkward technique, some floor pressing. It's only light, it's not much weight on the bar there. I just wanted to kind of give it a go, but it felt quite good. It obviously kind of put more emphasis on my triceps, the lockout element, which is obviously a weakness for most people, so I think that's a good thing. I'm going to try and incorporate more of these. I did like them. It's quite nice lying on the floor as well because it's pretty relaxing. It's a nice setup with the rack there as well. And obviously if you fail, you can just let go of it and kind of shuffle out of it like a kind of, I don't know, some kind of weirdo trying to creep around some kind of low ceiling arena. I finished that session with some tricep work. I did some overhead tricep extensions with a barbell, kind of a mini barbell. I think I did 3 sets of 12 down to about 10 of these. And that was that, my friends. Ordinarily, I would do 3 bench sessions in a week, but this week, because it was cut short by the competition, I only did 2. But the positive news is if you have a look at the guy in the background, he was hugely impressed with my performance. He actually came over to me at the end and said, I love you big time, can we get married? To which I obviously said yes. So the ceremony is all in place, it's happening next week. If you'd like to attend, just put your name and address in the comment section below and I will add you to the guest list.